So welcome everybody to the quarterly-ish team leader and marketing coordinator meeting. It's been about a minute since we've all had a chance to be together. A lot has happened. We've had what I hope everyone perceives as a very successful set event. It was great to see everybody from what I remember. It was kind of a
Yeah.
blur, but I think it was very fun. And for the marketing portion, I would love to hear some feedback. I think we also may be talking about that in the team leader group. I don't know exactly what Sally has planned. For the opening part this morning, I think we're just going to cover a few things together. One of the things I wanted to remind everyone of is the iBot elections are coming up. If your course hasn't had a chance to vote, that deadline is approaching, and so please make sure that you get your course votes so you can log in and do your course overall selection for your vote. I also hope that people are participating in the mission retention, marketing, and membership program from International. It's a good deal to try and get your name in the drawing for $500, and it's a good plan. I think the October plan is going to be a lot of fun, and in the marketing portion, we're going to talk about some creative ways that I've heard from other courses on how they are uh, planning to do their October portion of the mission retention plan. And I then think that we're going to discuss some of the things that we worked on last weekend at the regional leadership team retreat. And if Sally wants to sort of guide us with that on what you want to share with the big group here, we can kind of move right into that.
All right. As I mentioned, we had a RLT retreat last weekend. We have one annually to sit down together and plan. Basically, a lot of planning, a lot of reviewing of things and updating and that sort of thing. One of the results of our meeting was to set goals for 2025 and 26. And I thought I would share those with you because they are goals for the region. And I think it's something somewhat important that you know what those are, because you are, excuse me, an integral part of making those happen. So we came up with four. And the first one is to embed diversity and inclusion throughout regional activities and practices. As you know, we created a DEI committee. That was one of our goals for 2024, which was accomplished. They've been very busy reaching out to choruses. We just want to keep that going, taking that further to when we say embed, we mean that it's just something that's interwoven into everything we do, not necessarily an add-on, but it's something that's always present. If we have an activity, that's part of planning our activity. And of course, our music is involved in that. Our second goal is to improve members' access to resources and information. One thing we did before we developed these was to review the survey that all the chapters provided regarding the RLT. I don't know if you remember doing that, but it was, rather lengthy, lots of questions, and we reviewed all your responses and pulled from that to help create these goals. And one thing we've heard before, and we keep working on it, and we never will achieve perfection, but that is people have trouble finding information. And where do they go? Our website, we all know, needs updating, and that will be happening. But our goal is just to make the information and resources to you easier to find. A third goal was to evaluate and improve educational programs and access to educational resources. So we have, as you know, our main education programs are set, the contest, education class, we've had, since COVID days, North by Northwest presents Saturday morning classes. And the education team wants to take a look at those and see if they are worth continuing, or what new ideas they can come up with that may be better suited to our time. And also to help you, again, access information, resources regarding education and handouts, other things like that. And our fourth one is to develop regional initiatives toward membership growth and retention. I mentioned we reviewed the survey that you sent us, and that was the most common theme we saw was help us get members, help us keep members. And we feel that way on a regional level as well. So we will be reaching out to you, I'm sure, for your ideas. And this still needs a lot of structure around it, which we haven't quite haven't gotten to yet, just having created the goal last week. But it is in the forefront of what we're going to be doing, because without our members, without growing, you know, we're really going backwards, and we just can't let that continue. So Cherie mentioned the marketing or the retention program that Sweet Adelines has going, the monthly things you do. I hope you're doing that. And I think she mentioned she's going to ask for ideas that you all have, and I hope you will share those with all of us, because many heads, of course, are better than one or two or eight. So help us all make that an important goal to grow our numbers. We need more people. We need to keep the wonderful ones we have. So those will carry us through 2025 and probably into 2026 to some extent, because they are pretty expansive goals and we won't accomplish them in a week or two. But I wanted you to know what we were thinking in terms of what seems to be in the forefront of your minds for the region. So
Hey, Sally,
Jan,
before you go to the next goal, I see that Beth Ann has her hand raised.
I'm sorry. Hi, Beth Ann.
Good morning. I am just wondering, I think after contest, there was a survey that was sent out to us. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that or whether we'll see that information, but I thought I'd raise the question.
It's a good question. That was, I believe you're talking about the post-convention survey, which was sent out then. The convention team, well, the RLT saw the results. The convention team has reviewed them. And one of the things that we heard at our meeting last week are some changes that are being made to convention based on the comments that came through that survey. And I don't know, I'm not sure off the top of my head where that survey is located. Do any of you other RLT people know? Is it in the drive that we could send it out? There's no reason people can't see the results of that. So
I think it's in the drive, but I think we could certainly ask Sue if a summary could be provided, maybe even in the next e-blast.
right. And there will be a e-blast coming out maybe tomorrow, so it may not make that one, but
yeah, probably
we
won't make that
send it out to you via the email, the group email as well. So
Yep, and I would, if the team has reviewed it and thinks they're going to implement some changes, those would be interesting to see too. So just a thought.
they are. I could tell you a couple of them we talked about, but this is not an exhaustive list. Let's see, there will be, people had concerns about signage, finding where to go. So they're going to do a better job of letting you know, putting more signs, more helpful, informative, well-placed signage. We're going to move, I don't know if you recall where the registration desk was last year. It was right outside the ballroom door. Going to move that to the foot of the escalator, so people don't have to walk the entire length of that hallway to register. They can just go to the bottom of the escalator, get their materials and leave if that's what they want to do. The judges, there were some delays last year that was caused a lot of concern to competitors. Yes, people nodding. One of the reasons that happened was that the judges' break room was pretty far away. And so that's being moved a lot closer. So it won't take them so long to get in and get out and get back to the contest. We're going to identify a chorus contact in each chorus so that if there are delays or something comes up while the contest is underway, people are in the pattern, that there can be a point of contact to say, hey, hold up, we're delayed, slow down, we'll let you know. And the last one I have for right now, and we will see what else the team has come up with, is that there were concerns about the draping in front of the entryway to the stage, and also in front of the lift that some of our members used. It seemed like that was there was not enough privacy with that, so the draping will be done in a better manner to provide privacy for the lift, and also make sure that the audience can't see all of you entering or waiting backstage. That was not good. So that's going to be changed. So I hope that that's a start. And as more information comes out, we will share it with you. Thank you for asking the question. RLT members, Diana, Cherie, Jan, anything else you want to add from last weekend?
Oh, other than to thank you again for organizing it all, and it was a lot of stuff, but yeah, and I'm just here to listen today, so.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you. You're welcome anytime.
In regard to a contest, I believe the other thing we were going to is not require people to go outside to walk all the way around to be able to get down to the convention center. There would just be kind of a revised traffic pattern. So, walk to the right, or they're not going to require people to walk all the way around. They're going to just make it so that if it's a chorus that needs to be in the pattern, that the patrons, if you will, or the audience members don't interfere with that pattern, but they're just going to make it simpler so people don't have to walk all the way around and have, especially people that might have some ambulation challenges or things like that.
Thank you. That's all I have about that for now. Team leaders will be talking more in depth about some things.
Before we break out then to our separate rooms, I also just wanted to, I guess it's RLT related. I think most of you all know that we have all of the members of the RLT are buddies to our chorus members, and it's great that when we reach out to you, you respond. But I would say it's probably a pretty high percentage of people that don't respond, and so I guess maybe on behalf of the RLT, please respond. Even if you just say, we're good, thanks. So we don't worry about you. And if you see other choruses, please ask them to do the same, because we do worry. And when we don't get feedback, we don't know how you're doing. And so, of course, I'm probably preaching to the choir, haha. But I'm just saying, lots of times we don't hear back. 2 of 3 of my courses I have amazing conversations with, or I get to go see in person. And but I have one that I've tried everything, and I just can't get a response from them, and that's tough. I worry because That's what I do. So anyway, if you if you just get an email from us, if you would just say thank you, we're good, that would be appreciated. So I guess if we have nothing else for the good of the all order, I'll go ahead and start assigning for the breakout room. I don't know who all's going to go to the team leader besides some of the obvious. So I know Allie, Beth Ann, Betsy, you're going to team leader, right? Maybe it's going to be a shorter list. Paula and Carrie, are you staying with me?
Yeah, I'll go to team leader as well.
I'll stay with you.
Okay, it's going to be me and Carrie to catch up time. Diana, are you going to stay or are you going with Sally?
I'll go with Sally.
I'm staying with you too, Paula.
Awesome. Jan? Oh, well, I know where you're going.
Ooh, we get to tell her where to go?
Leslie, are you team leader or marketing?
Marketing.
Sweet. And Priscilla, you're marketing, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one of those, you can just tell me where to go.
Okay, hold on. Sally, don't forget to hit record. Oh, she might be frozen. Yay, here we are. So I don't know that everyone knows everybody, so do we want to just quickly check in? And Carrie, you can unmute your video. We don't care if you have bedhead. Why don't you start, Carrie?
I look beautiful, huh?
You do.
I'm Carrie Webenhurst, River's Edge Chorus Marketing Coordinator. Used to sing with Cherie at Spirit of Spokane.
Priscilla.
That's it.
I'm Priscilla with Columbia River Chorus and here to learn what we can do to get us more noticeable.
Paula?
I'm with Song of Seattle. I'm kind of the interim marketing. I have no idea what's going on.
Were
But I'm
you there
learning.
last Wednesday?
Yes, I was.
Okay, I thought I saw you when I was
Yes.
at your rehearsal, so it was just kind of a whirlwind.
Yes.
Leslie.
Hi, I'm Leslie. I do marketing with the chorus and I do the webpage.
So I know Carrie also does the web page for like a lot of people. In the past, she's incredibly talented at doing website things. How are you guys finding what platform is River's Edge using right now for a website?
Harmony site.
So same as Spirit of Spokane?
Yes.
Did you guys just switch to that?
We did. We just switched and getting it all set up. It's slow going, getting things from the chorus, but
ultimately, I think it's I think Harmony site personally is more user-friendly than Groupanizer.
yeah, I can't, we had connected sound before this and you could never talk to anybody. Harmony site, their tech help is pretty instant. So that's been nice. That's good to have. Just getting it all set up, you know, what we put on there and what don't we need. And we have quite a few older women in River's Edge, and they're slow to change. So getting them up on speed and things is slow.
Mhm.
But
So
it's
what
good.
platform is Grand Olympics using?
So we have our own host. They actually host through my personal company, and then so I'm kind of like the support as well. And then we use a WordPress Elementor platform for the actual website, and then we store all the other stuff on a Google Drive. So any of the links just go to our private Google Drive.
Excellent. What about Columbia River? Do you know what you all use?
We use GoDaddy, and just this year I was able to get in there and update a lot of stuff and totally, I guess, revamp the whole site. So we now have the different links across the top where people can look for something that they want to, instead of before, when people would go on there, it looked like one page. They didn't notice that the little hash marks at the top you could click on and bring a drop down window. But even there, it was so outdated, people wouldn't even go to it anymore. And so I thought, well, let me play around with it and see what I can do, and changed it and updated it. And the only thing is GoDaddy isn't, from what I've noticed, other websites, you can add photo blocks, you can add text blocks. GoDaddy, they just have a template, you fill it in, that's all you get.
That's limited.
It's like, I need more pictures.
Yeah, it has limited unless you buy extra stuff and then it gets costly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, ours is through Host Monster, and we seem to have more ability through Host Monster than GoDaddy.
Post Monster? Huh.
Check that out. And we have unlimited email, so we can have an email for every, I have one director, Grand Olympics Chorus, finance, marketing at Grand Olympics Chorus, etc. So you can unlimited emails as well,
Oh, okay.
Which is nice
which
because
is
so
really
many,
cool. Yeah,
it's great because so many times you start, you start, a coordinator will start a email account under their name for that course, but well, when they leave, then you have to start all over and you lose sometimes pretty valuable and pertinent information.
right. And this can just be forwarded to the next person
That's right.
easily.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly right.
That's what Columbia River got into, I think 2019. The one person that was doing the website and the emails had left, and we could not get into either one.
Yeah,
And even numerous contacts with GoDaddy, how do we get into it? It's our website. And finally, after a couple of years of trying to work with them, we finally got into it. And then it was, okay, we need somebody that can update this. And it's like, all you hear was crickets. It's like, come on, somebody.
Yeah.
It's like, well, let me play around with it and see what I can come up with. And was able to revamp it and update it, and looking really good. Now it's just finding the time, get back in there and keep it updated.
Yeah, I need to look at your website. So the other thing we did to help prevent that, I don't know if it will, but we made sure that the domain was registered separately from the hosting, so that the chorus, someone else completely different, has a domain, so that make sure that they always have control of the domain. And then we downloaded everything onto a hard drive, the entire website, the entire Google Drive, everything, and then that a backup is kept separately. So if I were to run off or die tomorrow, they have all the backup stuff.
Yeah.
excellent.
And that I think that's just
That's just smart. That's just
it's
smart
happened
business. Because
before
people
everything's
forget
gone.
that just because we're a nonprofit and we're a course, people forget that we are a business. And that's just smart business.
I agree.
Paula, do you know what Song of Seattle's using?
No, I know we are in the middle of switching, but I'm not part of that committee, and I've been trying to find it right now, and I don't know what we use.
Well, and that's okay. You don't need to know.
Well, but I'm kind of little like, I should be able to find our own website.
I think, well,
I can find it through through the regional, but I can't get to it directly. So I will figure it out.
yeah, because it's not songofseattle.com.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Obviously, we have some work to do.
and do you all have Facebook pages? You do, right?
Yes.
In researching current marketing trends for nonprofits, and especially in our age demographic, Facebook is still the best bang for your buck. Um, it's interesting in talking with different choruses in different regions. One of the newer things that people are doing, and it's borderline stalking, is anytime someone likes or comments on a post, they're reaching out to them directly. Now, that might not be new to any of you, but I haven't done that in the past. I kind of just say, thanks for liking our post, give them a thumbs up, but I haven't like literally necessarily reached out to them unless it was doing a membership drive or something like that. But that's one of the latest things that people are doing. Um, the other thing that is really important, and I don't know how to stress that to our choruses enough, is to not only have your members follow your own social media, but all of the choruses and the region social media, including the YouTube channels. When we cross share and cross post, that just brings the algorithm up for Barbershop Harmony and Region 13 and Sweet Adelines. And the more we come up in the algorithm when someone's searching for music in Spokane, the higher the chances are that we're going to actually appear in a Google search. I know that I was doing a Spirit of Spokane marketing campaign for something that we were doing, and I was working pretty hard at it, and I happened to just do a random thing on Facebook, and I saw our event pop up on the sponsor thing, and I just was so happy. It's like it's working. The algorithms are working, and so it really is it really is important to just at a rehearsal sometime just ask your director, have everyone get out their phones, go to the Facebook page, and you would be shocked how many of your own members don't follow your own social media. And it's just something that's easy and free to do. It also creates, if somebody is new and they happen to come upon your Facebook page and you have, 34 followers versus, 2,000 followers, they're more apt to trust that you're a legitimate business and a legitimate organization if you have more followers. So that's just something that's simple and easy to do. Hashtags are still popular. Um, a lot of people don't use the at, and that some people don't understand. Do you all understand the difference between the hashtag and using the at symbol when you post in social media?
No.
I don't understand how it gets picked up. How does it work exactly, the hashtag? How does someone pick it up?
So the hashtag is really so if someone goes onto like Facebook and they just do a search. So like when most of you are familiar with like the Panda Express fundraiser for nonprofits. So if someone went onto Facebook and typed Chinese food in Spokane, if you had posted on your social media for, I'll just say Spirit of Spokane. And when you're creating the post, you create your own hashtags. And if you type hashtag Chinese food, if somebody does a search for Chinese food in Spokane, then that would pop up.
Oh, okay.
The @ symbol is tagging a specific person or entity. So like if I was typing something and I said @Paula Davis, or if I was typing, I went to Song of Seattle rehearsal last week, and @Song of Seattle and @Paula Davis. I was completely blown away by their rehearsal. My compression socks almost blew off. Then they would get a notification that I had mentioned them in a comment. So then they get a notification, then they could go in and then they could like my post. And that's, again, it's all behind the scenes algorithm stuff. And then, or if they're not following me or my organization, then that gives them an opportunity to follow. So you could literally just, do that for other choruses. Anybody, you can literally do it for anybody that is on social media. Now, I mean, if you say @Carrie Underwood because you're singing a Jesus Take the Wheel, she might she might go and follow you. You never know. You never know. A few years ago, Jen Valeri and I were doing a virtual meet and greet with Straight No Chaser, and we were logged in, and it had the name, and it said baritone, and they're like, "Are you guys singers?" And we said, "Yeah, we're in quartets." And they asked the name of our quartets, and sure enough, they started following us. So you just never know. And it's just a way to expand your reach. One of the things that it's a little frustrating, but I get it. It used to be that the algorithm was sort of the same for all of the social media platforms. Well, not so much anymore. They're changing that. So I kind of created a little cheat sheet, if you will, about what the different algorithm requirements are for the major. When I say the major, I'm talking about Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, although we don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. The big court decision is supposed to happen in January, and whether or not it's going to be banned in the United States. But kind of what their algorithm requirements are. If you are new to marketing, or you're new to social media and you're just kind of dipping your toes in the water, I highly recommend staying with Facebook. That's now owned by Meta. Meta also owns Instagram and also owns Threads. If you're not familiar with Threads, Threads is sort of more. Instagram started out being a photo only app, and they now do a lot of reels, which is, we're going to talk about in a minute. The reels seem to be the thing that everyone's doing now. But Threads is kind of more like Facebook, but it's just kind of a branch of Facebook, if you will. But you can cross post on Facebook with Instagram. So that's helpful if you have an account with both. You can link them, and so anything you post on Facebook, you can post, it'll cross post on Instagram. But so that's convenient, and you don't want to try and start figuring out how to do all the posts on so many social medias, because this is a 1 day a week hobby, remember? So I would encourage you to not try and take on, a whole bunch of social media. Yeah, Paula.
We use Facebook.
Yeah,
We don't
no,
have a website. We use Facebook.
it's still, again, for our age demographic, it is, it's still up and coming. Would it be great to branch out into other things? Sure it would, but before you do that, you want to be able to know, just choose one. It doesn't need to be Facebook. It could be anything you want. Another huge trend is LinkedIn. Uh, it's
Hmm.
it's not as flashy, but it's good for a business, and it certainly can't hurt. It doesn't cost anything to create a LinkedIn profile, um, and it's good for reaching out to other nonprofits, especially if you're doing fundraising. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good to say, hey, we're having this fundraiser, come help us, but just to connect with other nonprofit groups potentially in your area. Um, One thing that's huge in grant writing right now is collaboration efforts. More and more grants are being approved if you're collaborating. So, for example, if you are putting on a show and you want to collaborate, well, the Harmony Explosion tour that we did last year, with 4 choruses. It was Coeur d'Alene Chorus, Harmony, North, no, Coeur d'Alene Chorus, Five Valley Chorus, Bridger Mountain, and Helena Express Singers. And we collaborated to support the YWCA of Missoula. That was a huge collaboration opportunity to apply for funding because you're teaming up with, you've got 5 nonprofit organizations. That's very attractive to grantors. So think about that when you're planning your next events. When you go to your management team and say, like for Song of Seattle, next year you all are going to Felixstowe, England, and I've been a part of your fundraising meetings, lots of them, and I keep encouraging them to find a nonprofit in Felixstowe that they can support with the Felixstowe choruses, so they can potentially apply for funding, even though now it's kind of running out of time because the window is closing for 2025 dollars. Most of the time, if you're going to apply for that kind of funding, it's in the fall of the year before, which is right now.
Mhm.
But so collaborating is good. So that's another reason why for LinkedIn, if you create your profile, you can literally search for other nonprofits in your area and help connect with them. If nothing else, grow your audience. Invite them to come to an event. We all have friends and family events, which are usually at no cost. That's the perfect opportunity to practice different marketing techniques, kind of figure out what's working and what isn't working. Invite them to something that isn't going to cost them any money so they get to know you and grow your audience at the same time. Because at the end of the day, your membership is likely going to grow from your audience. Most people don't wake up and say, I think I want to be a Sweet Adeline tomorrow. Most people go to a show and go, how fun does that look? Especially when you had me and Carrie in the front row in in, in our elf costumes. um, and that was just key. We're the face of our organization, and so what you put out there you get back, and so growing your audience is what's going to grow your membership. And and diversity. I'm also the chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee for our region, and reaching out to the diverse communities in your area is key. Invite them to a show, and I have long said, go and find your school for the deaf or your school for the blind and invite them to your shows.
Mm.
And I mean, I am a profoundly deaf singer. I know that you don't have to hear the music, you can feel the music. And if you grow a deaf audience, they will follow you to the ends of the earth. And consider signing. And Carrie is working on her ASL skills because of her friend Vicky. And Vicky, consider having a sign language person come, and even if they just start with a song, um, it's amazing what can happen if you just kind of step outside your box and and do that. Reels I just mentioned, learn a few words of a song for your entire chorus in American Sign Language and do that in a reel, post that on your social media. That will impress people and you will attract a different audience. So, I mean, we've kind of just talked about a lot. Uh, does anybody have any questions?
I do with the hashtags. Would we just do like on our own chorus Facebook page, do a posting, like for an event or something, and then just hashtag with some keywords? So if somebody else out there, like say Christmas caroling, our chorus would pop up as one.
It's just if someone's doing a search and they say look for Christmas caroling, um, depending on how many times you used that hashtag, like if you used it once, all the other people that use Christmas caroling are, thousands of times are going to pop up ahead of yours. So, but you can certainly use it. I think gone are the days where there was like 85 hashtags after a post. So you want to just personalize them, but make them applicable. And you also want to create something that is really yours. So, for Columbia River Chorus, that's kind of a long hashtag. But Columbia River is probably millions. So, but Columbia River, we'd add lines or something like that. Make something that's just yours, or that you also post in when you post in something. If you keep using that one in addition to others, then that's going to start getting more and more traffic.
Okay, but we use it on the chorus's Facebook page, right? Not our own personal.
You certainly could. You certainly could. But anytime, because you all are ambassadors for your chorus, especially if you're on the management team. And so you can certainly do that. Um, it doesn't hurt at all. I mean, that's just going to put more traffic for that hashtag. That's all.
Okay. Because I
So
had seen
you
them
bring up a
before,
really
but
good point, though, Priscilla. When you're using the ats, make sure that the person that you're tagging, if you will, make sure that that person or entity falls in line with your chorus's values. In one of my choruses, we 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 had somebody come and do a presentation for a fundraiser, and it sounded fantastic. And everybody was like, yes, let's do this. And then we started to do some research, and they just didn't fit in with our guiding principles. And so So we ultimately chose to not go that route, but just make sure,
Okay.
because you don't want to work hard at building up your reputation and then have something happen and someone say, why are you supporting X, Y, and Z? Um, so that's just a word of caution, but but you don't have to take it to extremes either. So
Okay. Yeah, because I'd seen them before and you hear about the hashtags, but I never knew how they were used. So, okay.
Carrie,
At the school I work at, I'm the webmaster and the Facebook and all that media. And I post every day on our Facebook page for the school. And every post I end with hashtag we are mountainside. That's our mantra or whatever. And I just went on one of my posts and I clicked the hashtag and that came up to the top. And then you could follow us. So
right.
that's how we built up to 1,300 followers on our Mountainside Middle School Facebook page. And we get posts all the time, people tag us thinking that we're going to be interested in some high school football game or something somewhere, but it's not. So I have to go through, delete those. But it does work. People go, oh, that's them. Okay, we'll follow them. So it works. Just you have to be consistent with it. And
And consistency is key.
it is.
For Spirit of Spokane, I do Fun Fact Fridays, and you can pre-post, you can schedule posts. It used to be you could schedule up to a year in advance, and I loved that. So I would spend, the first week of January, I'd open a bottle of wine or two, and I would do my whole year's posting for just those random types of things, and then it'd be done. Now you can only post a month in advance, so it's only a half a bottle of wine. So, but then you just schedule your posts out, and so you at least have a post that's at least once a week. So it just is something that's consistent, and it's something that's fun, and it's just random music facts, and so you really want to post often. Once a week is kind of your minimum, and and even if you share, you're creating a post. If you go onto the Region 13 Facebook page and you see River's Edge Chorus is having an event, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to share that to Spirit of Spokane's Facebook page. So, I mean, because we're in the same area. And I know over in the Seattle area, I mean, you guys have a cluster. I mean, there's so many choruses right there. Share each other's information. Um, and that's just going to help promote all of you. And so it's really, I mean, we're all in the same organization, and that's just a easy, free way to support each other. For marketing, I feel like the best bang for your economic dollar is Facebook boosts. They absolutely work as long as you know what your target audience is, and you can manipulate that. And if we want to really get into that in our next meeting, we could certainly just focus on how you adjust the target audience. You can do that, and you can adjust that per event. So like if you're doing the Panda Express fundraiser. You probably don't need to have the target audience be hashtag barbershop, hashtag, you don't care. You just want people who are hungry. So you literally could just say hashtag hungry, hungry in Spokane, or, hungry in Coeur d'Alene, or, you can adjust that per event, which is nice. Um, and because and you could spend $20 and maybe reach 5,000 people in that target demographic area of 20 miles, because you can adjust all of that, and that's really helpful. And then you think, I'm spending $25 and it says I might only reach 1,000 people. Well, that's kind of a lot.
Are
So-
there two different types of Facebook pages? 'Cause it seems like our chorus, even though I've clicked on follow, when I'm on my own personal page and I want to send something to the chorus Facebook page, I can't seem to find it. I look in all the people that I'm following and Columbia River does not show up there.
This Columbia River is Columbia River Chorus, comma, a chapter of Sweet Adelines.
Okay. But it doesn't show up in my list of who I'm following. So I'm wondering, is there,
Could be a group, maybe, or something else.
yeah, I've looked in
I'm
groups.
looking at it right now. It doesn't appear to be a group. I mean, and there, but to answer your question initially, Priscilla, yes. And when it's set up, because there are business Facebook pages and then personal, and and sometimes if you set it up as a business, there's a box that people check or not check on if people can share your posts. And several times I've noticed that people check that you can't share a post, but I do see that on yours. I'm on your Facebook page right now. That you can share your posts. Not sure why you're not. See, for your Columbia River page, there's not a follow option, but there's a like option.
Yeah. That's probably what it is. So how would the person that's running that change it so people can follow it?
That's a good question that I don't know that I have the answer to right now. I'm sure that it's not impossible. And I'm happy to look into that and I can just send that out to you if I can, once I figure that out.
Okay.
Or if I'm guessing Carrie's looking it up right now.
Sure, how do you change that?
So this is interesting, and Priscilla, I hope you're okay using you all as an example.
Yeah, that's fine.
On their Facebook page, this is a good example of why setting up, like Leslie said, an email for a position and not a person, because even though she's one of my favorite people on the planet, your email contact is Jen McDonald. And if Jen ever left the chorus or changed positions, you all wouldn't know if you're getting emails because they're going to Jenny Lynn McDonald at Gmail. So by creating, even if you created it through Gmail, and just created, team coordinator at Columbia River Chorus at Gmail or something like that, that could stay with the chorus and not the coordinator.
Okay, yeah.
And it looks like you guys have a new logo.
Yes, we do.
And if your choruses have a new logo, and that's why I kind of asked Carrie earlier, if you could please send those to me.
Okay.
Contest is around the corner, and I work with Carrie Flint often and putting together the videos for the Thursday night kickoff. And I can't tell you how many hours we spend hacking people's Facebook page and websites just trying to get photographs and course logos. So if you all would share your current photo, because we don't get those. We only get our own choruses and logos. That would be fantastic.
Okay.
We changed ours too, so I'll send it as well.
Thank you.
Our logo, yeah.
Yeah, I helped out with the new logo, the whole new look. Did trifolds, business cards. And so the Facebook page, the trifold and the business cards all have the same style and look to them, so that if somebody were to get the brochure and later happen to see a business card, they would notice that the same
Branding.
style goes throughout the whole thing.
Branding is
One thing that is very noticeable is when you look at somebody's business card or a flyer or trifold, and they go to a website, that logo does not match. They think they're on the wrong page.
That's right.
And they won't keep looking. So you have to keep that same thing going throughout the whole process. So it's been fun. It's learning experience, but we got a whole new look, and now I'm just trying to get it noticed.
Well, and keeping the website current.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not easy, but you know, especially when you have a donate button. So many of us have a donate button on our website. If I were a person donating money and I go to a website and I see, come see our show, and it's advertising your 30-year anniversary from 2019, I wouldn't likely hit the donate button because I wouldn't even know if the organization was still around. You know, so even if it's there and you just say, thanks for attending, our event was a huge success, and you just put a flag over it or something like that, you know, until you have time to go in, because we understand it takes time to change websites. And, you know, like I said, being only a one night a week hobby, you know, it takes time to get that stuff done. But it's really important to keep it current. But the answer is not to not post and not, you know, put your events on there, because then how do people know what you're doing? So it's you know, it's important to just make sure that the things that you post are current, and if you've had an event, that you update it, even if you just say thank you for coming, you know, more events coming soon, something that simple. um any more questions for today? Carrie, did you find that how to change?
No. Yep.
I'll look into that, Priscilla, for you.
Okay, thank you.
You mentioned the donate button. How many of you use Zephy? We're new to Zephy, but wow, what a game changer. That was amazing. Does anybody else use it?
We're working on it.
Okay.
What was the name of that? What was the name?
Zephy.
Zephy? Okay.
We can pay our dues, we can take donations,
yeah.
we can everything. It's awesome. We did our tickets for our last show with it. It was, yeah.
The only thing with Zephy is to explain that, you know, they automatically add a fee that you can simply say no. But
Yes, we had to make a note for that because, yeah, here's an extra, yeah.
yeah, neither of my courses are using Zephy yet, but our region is. We decided to let the region work out all the kinks, and then
Yeah, there's kinks to work out, definitely.
yeah, just like anything, anything new, there's always.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no fees. It's free for nonprofits, and that's huge. How many use Canva for creating content? Carrie, do you guys use Canva? So Canva is also free for nonprofits. And
I'm faster with Publisher.
you might want to just create, you know,
Oh,
get
I have.
signed up for your free account, but for River's Edge. But but it's nice to know that there's free things out there. TechSoup is another group that offers deep discounts for programs that courses are using, like Zoom, for example. They have a greatly discounted annual Zoom fee. Even things like QuickBooks and things like that for your finance coordinator is less expensive through TechSoup.
One thing I did find out with another organization I'm with is that Publisher in 2 years is no longer going to be supported by Microsoft. And
Really?
people that are using Publisher might need to find another program. And then further looking to see about that, they did say that Canva is a good one to move to, so that you're not stuck when Publisher's no longer supported and you're working on a project and it's not being saved right because it doesn't have any updates. So I think Canva's the one to go to.
Yeah, I think Microsoft is having some challenges on most of their, it wasn't a cloud-based product, and they're trying to become a cloud-based product, and they're having challenges with that. So I think that we've covered a lot for today. I don't have a whole lot more. Who else doing a holiday type show or caroling? I know Song of Seattle has a tea coming up in 2 or 3 weeks.
We're we're doing a bunch of sing outs at retirement homes and nursing homes.
Us too.
Us too.
So this
That's
is a great time for us to get on to each other's choruses, even if it's the 5 of us. Between the 5 of us, there's 6 choruses at least. Let's at least go and follow each other's choruses if we're not doing that today, and share each other's posts. If anyone's, I know Song of Seattle is doing a Seas Candy fundraiser right now. Share that, because I mean, who doesn't like Seas Candy? Things like that. Let's get out there and support each other, because truly, and you don't have to tell the other coordinators this, but marketing is the key to all of it. Marketing is the key for membership growth. Marketing is the key for fundraiser. And when you have more members, then your team coordinator has more to do. I mean, it really is, marketing is the key for all of it. So
Yeah, we put out the shout out around the community for during the Christmas season. We have people from the community that can join us just during the season to sing the Christmas carols, learn the barbershop style of harmony, and perform with us. And usually maybe 1 or 2 throughout that season will, have so much fun that they want to, they're like, hey, I want to join. I want to do this all the time, not just during Christmas. So I did mail outs to, I think, 42 different high schools and private schools and a couple other schools, to the music directors, chorus directors, to,
Smart.
because some of the high schoolers, they earn their credits towards their music letter by singing in the community. So this is a way to grab hold of those younger singers and get them involved in it. And hopefully they have their mother like, well, I want to do that too. And the aunt or sister, grandma that used to sing wants to sing again from
Yep.
church choirs. So it kind of expands out from there. And I've only had 1 mailing come back, but hopefully this next couple of weeks, getting closer to the Christmas season, we'll have more show up. So
Yep, and then if you send those same mailings out, like for your friends and family and all of that, then they're going to start being familiar with you. And that's that's just key, building up that trust. If you're doing caroling, consider, I mean, this is the veteran that in me is I don't know why we are not trying to reach out to more military people. And I consistently hear, well, because you can't get on base. Okay, but how many recruiting offices are there? And the recruiting offices are a forfer. They're all in the same office, So get a large quartet or a quartet together and go to the recruiter's office with your business cards or your show flyers in hand and go sing for them, and leave your flyers because they go on base all the time and they know people. And so it's just a way to consider another option for membership growth. And being a former military member, going to a new base and knowing that you may already have built-in family is huge.
Yeah, as a retired military wife, 25 years, we did that. And that would have been so wonderful
Yep.
to have known about Sweet Adelines back then. I didn't
Yeah.
know till after my husband retired.
That's how I got started 35 years ago, as we were transferred to Okinawa, Japan. And on base, in their little booklet to show families what they can do on base. And I saw Sweet Adeline International, chorus getting started, and I'm like, yes. So I went there and they were just ecstatic to see me. And we learned one of the Christmas carols in Okinawan, which is very similar to Japanese. People learn Japanese to go over there and they're like, no, we don't speak Japanese. It's Okinawan. And just being able to, sing on a military base over there for officers was amazing.
Yep. Yeah, it's really an untapped resource. And there's recruiter offices all over the place. And it really is. And you can simply talk to them because they also have events. And, just say, how do we get an ad into your next event program? And, you're a nonprofit. They may say, oh, just bring us something. We'll put it in.
Yeah.
And so you don't know. You just don't know unless you ask.
Yep. And also get a hold of the Girl Scouts. There is a music badge they can earn by learning, singing with another group in the community. They earn that badge.
Yeah, you just don't know. Paula, after I was at your rehearsal last Wednesday, I was driving home with Paula, your director, and I said, well, you guys are sitting on a marketing gold mine. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, you're blue skies over Seattle. And I said, once you get that done, you need to record that puppy and send that to the Seattle mayor, the Seattle Chamber of Commerce. You just don't leave anybody in Seattle out. Someone's going to want you to come and sing that as a promotional item. And she's like, I never thought of that. So
Paula shared that with us last rehearsal, and it is on the agenda.
Awesome.
Probably next year.
Awesome. That's great. That makes me happy. So, okay. Well, I think I've talked your ear off enough. So if you don't have any more questions, thank you so much for coming here today. The only thing we have left to do is to set our next meeting. We are trying to do these quarterly. So that would put us into January. How does January 18th look for you all right now?
Unknown.
That's
Why
fine.
you plan in advance.
Yeah, I try. Well, military and travel, or not military. I'm going to go visit. I'm going to go traveling in January, but we'll see.
Well, be careful. Who knows that time of year?
Yeah, Florida.
It'll probably be a joint meeting that seems to really be helpful to start joint, just to sort of get things started and make joint announcements. And we'll go from there. But so I will send out a Zoom link as it gets closer. And if there's something that you all really, really want to focus on, like if you want me to focus on how to literally create a meta event and how to do some posting, then I'll make a note of that and we can certainly just focus on that. And but if for any meeting, if there's stuff that you would like to focus on, because this group conversation, I've seen lots of people take notes. And so that's why we have these meetings, because, you know, to share ideas and to collaborate. So
Oh, this is very positive. I appreciate it. Thank you. I've never been to one before, so it's very good.
awesome. I hope it was helpful and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.
Okay,
you.
thank you.